Welcome to News 18. I must tell you guys that I'm so transfixed by your characters. All of you are so inspiring. I
Thank
love
you.
watching you on Bridgerton. Golda, you have a whole show based on your character. Tell me, and this it has been one of my favorite Bridgerton stories. Tell me, have you been able to process the overwhelming response that it received, and what does it feel like to be back on the show?
Gosh, yes. I don't know whether I've had time to kind of process it. You kind of go, well, you hope you go from one job to the other and all that, and then the strike happened and life happened and I got married and it was crazy things happened. So but having said that, it's really amazing to get positive feedback for any work that you do. But especially for something that that really warms the hearts of lots of women and men, people of the world. So coming back to play their part, I'm really excited to do that after all the secrets that have been let out, in Queen Charlotte. And I feel like the fans have been let into, the house of QC now and all her friends. So yeah, they're armed with lots of information that they didn't have before going into Bridgerton. So that'll be really lovely to take them with us.
Right. You know what I like about Bridgerton is that the show has so many women across age, color, and class, not just in front of the camera, but also behind it as well, which is a rarity. Um, Also, tell me, how important do you guys think it is to have intersectional representation on and off screen in today's time?
Hugely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, intersectional, I just call it being a human being because we're all complex, aren't
Yes.
we? I mean, I remember that thing would be like the conversations would be about race or gender, and you want to go, yes, I'm both. We're all both.
Yes.
So I think what's powerful about the show is that the world that we all want to live in is a world where everybody is seen and heard in all their complexity, in all their diversity, in all their richness, their triumphs and their sorrows, that we get to see all of who we are. If we could only look at all of who we are all the time, there would be a lot less friction in the world, I think. And so to be able to do a show where you can tell a story that has all the elements that you want in a story, the competition, the betrayal, the romance, the fear, the desire, the appetite, all of that stuff, and tell those stories, but within that frame of going, we are all here to be seen and heard and to be of equal value, is fantastic. And as you say, to have that in front of the camera and to be working, because there's still a way to go behind the camera. Let's not kid ourselves in our industry. But if we can work towards that on our show, then we're doing something that's refreshing in front and behind camera, and that's the future that we want to head into.
Right. So, guys, among three romances, Daphne, Kanthony, and Polin, which one is your favorite and why?
Oh, I'm going to answer a bit like so. In the books, when Violet is asked about who is her favorite child or who does she miss, and she misses the one who isn't there. So in a similar vein, I'm going to say my favorite is always the romance that is happening at the time. So my favorite romance is Colin and Penelope.
Right. Just the last question, guys. It's been quite some time that you have been working together. What have you learned from each other as co-actors?
Oh God,
it's been 5 years, isn't it?
Oh my God, is it?
Yes, it 2019.
They are very, very lovely people.
I'll punch you in the face if she says otherwise. No. Yeah, I think well, we were all doing this a lot before we started on this show. We've been around a bit, so
but we never met each other.
But we never worked together. We knew each other, but we haven't worked together. I fangirled you from your radio and film work. I knew that before, and I knew Golda's magnificent theatre work. But so
we used to meet in Brixton, the park as well.
Yeah, in Brockwell Park.
Brockwell Park.
Yeah, exactly. Because your mum was on the other side. Yeah, that's right. So we sort of knew each other, but what's been great is to kind of travel forward with the show and to work with all these amazing young actors as well. There's a real people really concentrate and they work really hard, and they're not sort of earnest or miserable about it. People are very generous and
generous
with the way they work together.
The one of my very first memories of this, it was the first day where I think we were reading.
Was it read through?
No, I think we were doing.
Were we doing dancing
and stuff like
God.
that. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I was really nervous, and I think some of the younger kids had been rehearsing clearly because they all seemed to know each other. I don't think they had known each other before. And I sort of sat at the side, and you stood up and you said, "You're one of us. Come here." And you gave me a massive hug, and I felt immediately kind of like, I'm safe.
Yes.
That was really lovely. That was so lovely.
Welcome. Anytime.
Thank you so much, guys. It was lovely speaking to you, and wish you all the best for the new season.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Yes,
Bye.
Thank you.